For some time now, the actual liters of petrol consumed in Nigeria has been a subject of debates and acrimony. We are yet to get to the truth of the matter. The Federation Account Allocation Committee, FAAC, has asked the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC, and relevant agencies to submit the state-by-state consumption of petrol to its committee. The directive is contained in a post-mortem subcommittee final report submitted to the whole House at its July 2022 meeting in Abuja. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives Ad hoc Committee to investigate the petroleum product subsidy regime from 2013 to 2022 has summoned the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, to appear before it next Tuesday for custody. The minister is to appear before the committee with a document demanded by the lawmakers relating to subsidy claims and payments in the period under review. Let's share the story by TVC News. Joke Adisa with you.
Yet another sitting as the committee continues its investigations into determining the actual liters of petrol the nation consumes daily. Stephen Okon is the Director, Home Finance at the Federal Ministry of Finance. He is here to represent the minister, but the lawmakers aren't pleased with these.
The letter is going to be sent to confirm to this honorable committee that I'm representing the Home Minister.
The lawmakers resolved that the minister must appear before them next Monday with needed documents. They described the revelation by the minister that the nation requires 6.7 trillion naira for subsidy in 2023 as worrisome.
Director, this committee will listen to you. That you are here, but the honorable minister has to appear before this committee and we'll give you a date when she will come. You will speak to why the minister is absent today.
It's also good to also let those that are not here now know that we have teeth to bite. Nigerians can't be paying trillions of monies that we don't have, trillions of naira that we don't have, to subsidize what we don't even know.
The lawmaker said the minister must answer to the total amount released from the Consolidated Revenue Account as subsidy payment in the last 10 years. All companies involved in the fuel subsidy regime also shared their perspectives with the committee as the legislators raised a number of observations.
The letter that we received from the House of Committee was directed to Sahara Trade Nigeria Limited. All the letters we received from this honorable committee. And then the company that engages in DSDP with NNPC is Sahara Energy Resources, DMCC. Now, Sahara Trade Nigeria Limited is also a subsidiary of Sahara Energy that...
I'm in possession of a document here. The agreement for DSDP is between the NNPC and Sahara Energy Resources, not Sahara Trade.
Also to be provided by the minister is the breakdown of beneficiary companies that received subsidy payments from the Consolidated Revenue Account from 2013 till date. Jokeyatsa, TVC News.
Why will it be a mystery to know how much we are paying for subsidy and how many liters of fuel we actually consume? And it has taken months to unravel this. Why is it difficult?
Well, it's one subject I actually don't like to talk about or even think about, because we're in a country where even developing apps to make these things easy, make it trackable, is possible. We have so many tech people who can, even if we don't have one, who can do all of this. But like we have always said on this program, the long-term solution is for us to be able to manage what we have.
Do you think it's deliberate?
No,
to make this thing a kind of secret so that the malpractice in that industry will continue?
Yes, let me agree with you on that. That's a huge possibility. Because even the NNPC itself and the federal government have different ways of tracking. I mean, they have different rates for what they do. For instance, if as a private person, I need to import, and I need to import urgently, I may resort to the black market to get dollar. If I get it at 600 naira to $1, and the NNPC is importing its own at 430 or thereabout to $1, then computing those things will definitely require more effort than if it's a single rate.
Digit.
It's going to be difficult. And then the fluctuation also, 600 today, 613 tomorrow, 640, and then it comes down again. It's a whole lot of complication, which is resolvable anyway with a single app, which is going to be resolvable. But in the first place, the big question is, should we even be importing, not to now talk of subsidizing? That shouldn't even come up at all. And that is why I keep saying, some of these things, when you think about them, if you are concerned about the growth of your country, you are likely going to be sad.
Asuko, you see this as a very big joke when you have people, even in government, conspiring with saboteurs to undermine the country's economy. Because I see no reason why we should import refined products, and next thing, tankers will find their way out of the country through our different borders to go and sell at higher prices or to adjoining countries.
You won't also blame those countries, because if, for instance, we have...
so we are subsidizing for them.
Yes. If, for instance, we
for smugglers to make
we
profits.
have removed subsidy and we have made the market free, as in free indeed, Ayo, I'm not sure anybody will want to move his product outside Nigeria. Perhaps maybe fuel would have been like maybe 600, 700 that like they sell outside Nigeria, and then they'll be selling here. But if we are still, government is still subsidizing, and then we are still buying fuel at 180, and in some places maybe 200. If you go to the north, maybe some places, 200, 300. The people who are taking these things out still believe that they can make money from it.
And they're making money.
And they're making money.
Making huge money.
So it's just unfortunate that we have people in government who don't send you an eye. Let me use that word, because they want to just maintain that status. But Ayo, have you also noticed? I think this is something that Nigerians should be asking those who are in charge of our crude oil. You can't tell me that the only thing that they import to Nigeria out of the crude oil that we are sending is just petrol. We are talking about aviation fuel. Why is it expensive? We are the ones sending this petroleum. Those who are refining for us should be able to say, okay, fine, this thing has to be less. The prices has to be less. Forget about, because every time we keep hearing landing costs, this cost, that cost. People keep saying these things. But what of the other things that are involved in the crude oil? Who are the people that are,
the byproducts?
Yes, the byproduct. Who are the people that are eating from it? Because we keep talking about petrol. There was a time we had issues about the number, because till date, we've not had the number of consumption per day. Even when the Senate president was asking, we asked the Senate president, he too was even confused to tell us the number. So people are just sitting somewhere, eating from our commonwealth. And I think it is high time we began to ask those who are in charge of this. Yes, it's now a limited company. Nigerians own this limited, but we need to know, as our CEO, that is the owner of the NNPC, because we have a CEO there now. Open the books. Let us see everything, and let him just be transparent with us, so that we don't keep having issues whereby the House of Rep members will be calling for some people to come and account for our own money, and some of them will not go, they will be sending representatives, which is wrong.
Jide, when are we going to get to the bottom of this? This seems to be like rocket science, sort of. if we cannot determine the number, the amount of our consumption per day? What's the big deal?
Well, it's not that we do not know what we've been told we consume. The issue is we do not believe the figures that the NNPC is banding all over the place. No sensible Nigerian who understands issues clearly will readily agree with what the NNPC wants us to believe we consume daily. The NNPC, the last time I checked, said we were consuming 101 million liters a day. This is a figure
101
that
million
even
liters.
the Senate President and even the Minister of Petroleum Resources, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, have publicly disagreed with. I've never seen where a minister would disagree with something as serious as the claims that a big government corporation that he supervises made to Nigerians. Everyone is talking about smuggling, that the rate of consumption has been seriously increased by rampant smuggling. Of course, even that claim has to be investigated. Why? Because you look at a country like Niger Republic, we can blame our neighbors for everything. But some of those claims that we are making about our neighbors also need to be investigated. You look at a country like Niger Republic. What is the GDP of Niger Republic? Niger Republic is not as prosperous as just two Nigerian states put together. Two northern Nigerian states, Kano and Kaduna. And the quantum of vehicles in Niger Republic are certainly not higher than the quantum of vehicles in Kano and Kaduna put together. When you are talking about Nigeria's neighbors, the one that has the most extensive border with Nigeria is Niger Republic. Our border with Chad is a very small one, very small. But with Niger Republic, it is hundreds of kilometers. And it involves no less than 6-7 states. So are we saying that the bulk of this smuggling is happening in Niger Republic, Niger, to the point that our consumption rate has now doubled to what we had during the Jonathan era, more than double? It will be difficult for people to believe such stories because during the Jonathan era, the Nigerian economy was doing much better. People enjoyed a level of prosperity that they are not enjoying now. People are a lot hungrier now. People are not buying vehicles now than they used to buy at that time. These claims can even be verified at the licensing office. Are Nigerians so comfortable now than that time that they have now bought 2 times the number of vehicles that they bought during the Jonathan era? The Senate President said one thing. He said, if we do not stop these people making this kind of claims at this time, a time will come when they will tell us that we are now consuming 500 million liters a day. Since they got away with what they said earlier, and will have been happy with the investigation that the House of Reps is doing. But I'm shocked that they've decided to take it all the way back to 2013. In my view, they are going to achieve nothing in the end. Why not limit it to this time? Because the subsidy claims have gone far higher than they used to be during the Jonathan era. That has to be investigated. That is what should be investigated. Why do we have a subsidy claim rising up to 6.7 trillion naira? When during the Jonathan era, it was not even up to 1 trillion. So what's going on? These are questions that a probe that is thoroughly conducted has to answer. But the way they are going about it, calling this, calling that, taking it all the way to 2013, asking to know.
Dosu, the second leg of this is that claim, subsidy claim, that the Minister has been summoned, the Minister of Finance by the House of Representatives now, saying the claims and payments under the period in review. Because when you look at the way we've been paying this subsidy, it's in trillions.
Yes, it has to be from what I said initially. Because if I'm bringing in a product that you expect me to sell it at a particular rate, in the first instance, what you are going to do is to ensure that the difference is paid to me. Then I'm now also going to take you up with evidence. Like we said, for instance, if I go to the black market to get dollar at 600 naira, what it means is that based on certain calculations that were made, that petrol cannot come to this country for less than 600 naira a liter. Mm-hmm. And then government says, from my depot, I should sell at 118 naira for a liter. So that there is a difference there, which you must first pay. Government itself, that's where we have all this complication. Government itself now says, I'm able to pay you the bridging claim of 30 naira. So take it out of 118. It means government is giving a 600 naira per liter petrol out, or 80 naira or thereabout. So you have all these variations, all these differences here and there. That makes these things to keep mounting. And the rate of the dollar is not helping matters. If we were stable, for instance, in terms of the dollar and its availability, easy access, fine, we'll be able to work something out. But how do you come to tell a Nigerian who is earning 30,000 naira as minimum wage and who needs about 4 liters of fuel every day because there won't be power at the critical time when he gets home to watch TV, to do this until when he goes to bed. So now go and buy that petrol at 600 naira, even at 430 naira. How do you justify it? So it means in one day, that man who even buys at 400 naira a liter would have spent 1,600 naira on petrol only.
This has been a very, like, the industry over time has not been a transparent, the dealings have not been transparent, especially NNPC has always been shrouded in secrecy. We've seen people going through trial for this subsidy claim, but it's something that I don't think even government can sanitize the industry.
It will be very difficult, Ayo, because it's like it is another side runs of some people in government, And it's going to be very difficult, Ayo, to end this. And just like Babajida said, even the House of Rep, they should tell themselves the truth. Do they really want to probe and know what is happening in the industry? Because if you want to probe something, you know that in the next couple of months, you'll be leaving. So why not deal with the period that is now, which is from maybe 2020 to 2022?
We've seen probes before.
Yes, now at the end of
the NDDC probe that attracted all the attention.
All the attention. Well,
even
gone.
This one that they are doing, do you know how many of it?
Yes.
How many did they have taken to court?
Yes. So if the House of Rep member, if the committee really, if they are interested in solving a problem, let them say from 2020 to 2022. Let's start from that one. How much was paid as subsidy?
Okay, let's take Kennedy is calling us from Enugu State. Thank you for joining us, Ken.
Yeah. Hiya, good day. Good day.
Yes, thank you.
Gentlemen of the press.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice to talk to all of you this afternoon. My brothers, what I just want to say, all these things that is happening to Nigeria and happening in this government, you guys not supposed to be surprised because from my own understanding, it seems that this government is built on lies because these people told us a lot of lies in 2014 and we buy those lies. And those are the prices we are paying now. They sold lies to us, to Nigerians, and we bought the lies. And those lies are what we are suffering on now. They told us that fuel subsidy is a scam. And now they're telling us in trillions that there's the amount they're going to use to subsidize the petrol. Where are we going to? Why are we like this? Where are we heading to? How do we get to this place? May God help Nigeria, my brothers.
Thank you, Kennedy. Thank you for your contribution. So, Jide, moving on now. If there's going to be another probe, do you see anything coming out of this?
No, I don't see anything coming out of it. A situation in which even government officials who ought to face those panels stay away. You send for the CBN governor, he feels too big to come and answer questions. You send for the finance minister. In fact, she didn't even send a covering letter mandating her. She didn't send a covering letter mandating her representative to attend the meeting. So the disrespect even for the National Assembly is there. So if the critical people stay away, how are you going to get the information that you need? And that period, the recovery period is just too long. It's a waste of time. It shows that they are not serious, that they don't really want to achieve anything out of this. They just want to harass some people, for reasons best known to them. Otherwise, if subsidy claims can go up to 6.7 trillion, it has to be investigated. The bulk of the petrol coming into our country is imported by the NNPC, the bulk of it. And it's the NNPC who sets, through its agencies, PPPRA, that sets the prices that at which this product should be sold. So we know who to talk to. Trying to give Nigerians, give the feeling that it's some Nigerians that are pushing this thing across the border because they want to make money to cover the cost of bringing the product into the country. It's not really the issue. The bulk of it is brought into our country by NNPC. It's just a few people who also have the privilege of importing. And the people who import are the friends of NNPC themselves. So it's not like before when major marketers were all taking loans from banks and bringing products into our country. Now NNPC is the major importer. More than 80% of the product is brought into the country by them. So they are the ones that we should face and address this problem. A lot of money that could be used for infrastructure in our country is diverted to paying subsidy, paying for consumption. That's why the country is where it is. Now, it got to a point that even NNPC could not remit a dime to the Federation Account for the states and local governments and the federal government to share, because they claim that all of what they sold, the crude oil they sold, all of the money that they made are being used to pay for subsidy. For some time, they were even paying, subsidy was not accounted for in the budget. Yet NNPC, against the laws of our country, decided on its own to be paying subsidy from money that they realized against the Constitution. Because the National Assembly has the power of appropriation. They are the one, if you want subsidy, they are supposed to appropriate money for this purpose of subsidy. But they were taking it by themselves without anybody supervising them. They just take whatever they like from crude oil sales and then say they have used it to pay subsidy. What kind of country allows that to happen?
All right.
I mean, it's just unfortunate.
Okay.